what's unique about you? What's really going to get you to stand out? What's really going to get your projects or your music or your movies or like your content, whatever it is that you push out, even if it's just like clothes, that you make clothes, you knit, you sew, and you sell it, whatever your product is, whether it's digital or physical, like how is it unique? How does it stand out from others? What really helped me with this was when my brain rephrased it like, how is your authenticity different from this person's authenticity? Why is it everyone's authenticity the same? Like, why is your authenticity different from others specifically? You know what I'm saying? What about your authenticity makes it authentic? Because it's like it's different from majority. What about your authenticity is that? And like when the question was phrased that way, it was a lot easier for me to answer. Because like when you hear the same thing over and over again, it kind of makes it harder to like stamp into your brain. And like we've all heard millions of times like, oh, um I'm getting off the point now. But we all heard millions of times like to like be yourself or like do something that stands out. um what about you is unique? What about you is different from everybody? Like we all heard those words before, so it's not really gonna hit. So normally what I like to do for things that's true but doesn't really hit because I heard it too many times is I like to rephrase it, say it in a completely different way that I haven't heard it yet, so that way like it comes in a little bit more fresh, it's able to hit more. Anyways, besides the point, irrelevant. um so whatever is unique about you, you want to put that in the forefront of your personality, and you want to put it at the forefront of your work, and you want to really showcase that and put a limelight on that, and you want to flex that, because essentially you're saying, look at me, I'm different, look at me, I have this quality that most of you don't have, because it's unique to me. um so whatever that is for you, oh, that's so beautiful too. Like when you really like find it, like for me, like that quality for me is like my ability to like love a stranger like as if they're my own, as if they're like my son or my daughter or something, and I just met them and I'm just like, have you ate? Like I just genuinely care about other people. And other thing about me that makes me really unique is like my like belief and faith in a beautiful world, a different world. And like my belief is and that is more unique than others because like I actually genuinely believe it, and I actually strive for it in my work, and aka my music and these YouTube videos, and just not so much in my personal life, but we're working on that, and like because a big part of this also comes with like being seen, like letting yourself be seen, like when you like really like uncover, okay, this is like unique about me, and like yeah, there might be other people that feels this way or acts this way too, but the reason why it's unique for me is because fill in the blank, you know what I'm saying? Like really like talk to yourself like the masters, the greats, the gods, the ones up there on top, like they talk to themselves, because you're not always gonna have someone there to talk to, and sometimes there's no one there to talk to because there's no one there that really gets it, you know. And in those moments, instead of just breaking down and feeling alone, talk to your damn self. You get it. You get what you're trying to say. You don't even need words. You actually, like, as someone who talks to themselves, you come to a solution a lot quicker, and it's just a lot more intimate and personal and deep because it's you. Like you don't need words because you know what you're talking about. Like you just feel the energy and you know what you mean. Like so you just like this. Feel like 30 minutes straight. And just having a just having an internal dialogue of without any words though, because you know what you're saying without having to say it. And it's just you just it's pretty cool. Anyways. Yeah though. So talk to yourself. Reorganize your inner world, find that solution, and figure out, what's authentic and unique and different about you specifically. And like to do this, because you really want to actually do this, to do this, like what helped me is really getting into the details, really getting into the details. Like, what I did was I was like, okay, what things about me makes me feel like an outcast? Because I struggle with inferiority, inferiority. I think I'm saying it right. When you feel less than, pretty much. I struggle with like an inferiority complex, like feeling less than yourself, feeling less than period than everyone else complex. And that's just because like I like been like rejected by like everybody when I was younger, and like I was always alone. So I felt like I was less than everybody else. But like I had to like now ask myself like, okay, what about my personality that makes me feel um that makes me feel um not less than, because there's something about my personality that makes me feel less than. It was just like how people treated me that made me feel less than. But what about my personality that makes me feel different? Like, what about my personality that makes me feel like an outcast? Um, so ask yourself that. What about your personality makes you feel like an outcast? What about your? Because most of the time, these are things about ourselves that we like we only show these things about ourselves to like people um that we are comfortable with, that we've known for years, and that'd be like one or two people, like your mom included. Like sometimes our mom don't even see these parts of ourselves, because we put up a front, we like to put up an image for people, right? So you might have an image that you like to put up for your mom or for your parents, like a lot of people do that. So but like not everybody has that one or two person in their life where they could be completely naked around. Like they don't have to put up an image. They could just like show all the skeletons in the closet and like not have any judgment from that person. So most of the times, like, that's just like you show these quirks, and you show like these little authentic things about yourself when you're alone. And because when you're alone, you just express yourself freely. Now a lot of the times, like, believe it or not, some people, even when they're alone, they still can't be themselves. And a lot of the time, those are people that like be empaths mostly, um because they just absorb everyone's energy throughout the day, and then when they're alone, they're still like they're just a sponge filled with other people's juice and energy. And like, so now they have to like squeeze out, meaning like they have to like exude all that energy out, like exhaust out all that energy. And then pretty much when all that energy is gone and they need to replenish themselves, they'll replenish themselves with their own damn energy. That's why empaths need to be alone a lot. But yeah, but even non-empaths as well, like there's just lots of people that genuinely hate themselves, and they just like reshape their whole entire personality to fit like a celebrity or something like that. And they've like lied to themselves and convinced themselves like for so long that like this is who they are, that like even when they're alone, like that's how they act, like they've completely just forgot who they are. Like literally. So that's like more in extreme cases, but there is people like that, and it'd be, just regular everyday people that's like that. But it's a way of coping. It's a way of it's a way of, I mean, you never loved yourself, you just forgot yourself, you know what I'm saying? But you're free from feeling that self-hate by loving a false version of yourself. So it's still like, it's like, it's a solution to the problem. Like, you don't hate yourself anymore, but it's just, the problem is solved, but that doesn't make it right. Okay. Anyways. um so but yeah, where was I going with that? So you want, where was I going with that? Basically, like, you want to be alone. Wait, where was I going with that? Find your authenticity. Yeah, you want to find your authentic, you want to find, like, oh yeah, I was saying that, like, you normally express like these little quirks about yourself, and like these like parts of yourself that like you normally like hide, like you normally just express it like when you're alone or when you're around people that you're really comfortable with, right? But like, you know, and this, to do the shadow work and to really like figure out these things, you have to observe yourself whenever you're like naked, whenever you fully let go and you're like, you don't care who's looking, who's watching. If you're one of those like rare but cool ass best people that like honestly they give star quality, because it's like you could just sense off of them that like they're fully naked, and something about that just attracts like people, like it's very magnetizing, like you sense it, because most people have on a mask, most people have on a false personality, and subconsciously we know that this person is just putting on an act, just putting on, like, because we're in a social setting, subconsciously we know that. So like when we come across somebody and we're like, okay, like this person, like we can sense like, oh no, this person is fully naked, like they're not putting on an act, like we'll subconsciously pick that up, and we'll not, and we'll and like we will not be able to stop like staring at them. Like I'm telling you, like it's real shit. Like just think about it. Just think about what I just said. Just really think about it for a second, because it's some real shit. Like somebody walks in the room. Have you ever like saw someone and you just couldn't stop staring at them? Like really think to yourself, like why? Like something subconsciously was happening. Like you subconsciously knew this person is not wearing a mask. Like this person is completely naked in public. Subconsciously. Okay, they're completely naked in public subconsciously. Like in the internal realm. Okay, um, somebody is freaking like dead ass naked around in front of everybody right now. Like if that was in real life, I was above, so below. If that was in real life, you would stare. Like unless you don't like what you see, but nah, it would be magnetizing though. You would not just like walk away from the situation. You would want to be around and be like, what's gonna happen next? Like, why is this person in public naked? Like, what's happening around here? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like that, but it's a subconscious. It's happening internally in the subconscious realm though. You know what I'm saying? And you just like, because like anyway. I always get off topic. I'm sorry. I went on a rant again, but so yeah, like when you're like completely naked like that, like unless you're like I said, like one of those people that could do it, that could do that in public and have like that star quality about them, because like I know you have everybody stare at you, because that is like, it's very hard to do. Okay, and like most people just don't do it, so whenever someone does it, like it's very noticeable, but it's something that's happening internally in the internal world, so it's not like visible, like there's nothing like physically or visible that you could see as to why you would be staring at this person. You might give yourself a reason, like, oh, they're really attractive, they're really pretty, but why, like, well, how did they catch your eye in the first place, and why are you staring? You see attractive people every day. What about this attractive person that got you just staring at them though? Like you gotta really think about shit like that. Okay, anyways. Anyways, yeah. So, but yeah, so if you can't do that in public, then just observe yourself, you know, throughout the day. But if you only are like that when you're alone, then observe yourself when you're alone and really like point out, like, you know, these things that you do only when you're by yourself and when you're fully like naked, that is like authentic to you, that you feel like if you were to like do that in front of other people, they would think you're weird. because it's different. It's unique to you. It's not something that you see people do every day. It's not something that's trending online. It's a quirk that you've only see yourself do. So that would be unique to you. So like, what's something about yourself that like you've only seen from yourself? Like, I have a few things like that. I think everyone does, but I don't know. Um, I think most of us have things that like we've never seen out in the world. We've only seen that come from ourselves. Like it might be like an action. You might just do something, and you never like. Okay, I have a habit of like squeezing people's like squishy parts. Like I'll squeeze you like right here, your armpit. I'll squeeze right here. I'll squeeze right here because it just feels really good. Like right here, on people's bodies. Like it's really squishy, you know. Like I've never seen anyone do that. I've never seen that from anywhere. But myself, I've never seen that on TV. I never seen that. Like I've never seen anyone do that. Like that's something that I've only seen me do. Like that's something that I'm the only one I know that does that. Like so like everyone I think most of us have at least one or two things where like we've never seen that anywhere, like not even including TV because that counts. Like we've never seen it out from the world. We've only seen that from ourselves. Like I think those things, like make a list of those things and like put those things about yourself to the forefront. Make like those things like the main parts of your personality. Like put the spotlight on those things. Um so people could focus more on like your uniqueness than and your differences than your similarities, you know. Because your whole point is you want to stand out. You want people to look at it and be like, oh, this is different, but like a good different, not like a I'm freaky, I'm scared different. Because if it's too different, if it's too abnormal, then it's gonna look scary. So it's gotta still feel like they still gotta look at it and still be able to recognize it, but it's just different. Like, you know. Anyways, because if there's like no category they could put it in their minds, they're gonna be like, nah, I don't know what the fuck this is. I'm scared. I don't know if I'm safe. I don't know if I'm in danger. Like, but if there's a category that can put it in, like, okay, this is a song. This is just a song. This is it's vibration. You put it in your ear, make you feel good. Okay, cool. But then the song is some unique shit. It's the lyrics is some different shit. Might even be a different language or some shit. I don't know. They might be like, oh, this is different. Oh, this is unique. I like it. You know what I'm saying? But if there was no such thing as music, and you just made a song, nah. They're gonna be like, first of all, fuck if the song is good. What the fuck is a song? Like, let's backtrack to that. But anyways, I'm so funny. I'm so funny. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, you just want to make something like that's you just want to you want to become something, like not make something, but you want to be something because that's a really good point. I like this thought. I like this thought. You snap. Okay, look, a voice in my head just said, like, because I'm talking, it's talking over me, and it's like correcting me, like, no, you need to say it like this, and I'm like, you right. Okay, look. Okay, this is what it said, right? This is what it said. This is what the voice said. It was like, damn, don't let me forget. Oh, yeah, this is what it said. It said that you need to become the unique, organic, original. You need to become unique, original, and organic. Yeah. You need to become unique, original, and organic. Not just make unique, original, and organic things. No, you need to become that in order to make that anyways. Because when you yourself is organic and authentic and unique, then everything that comes out of you is going to be authentic, organic, and unique. Everything that comes out of you is going to be that. You see what I'm saying? So you first gotta be that to create products or whatever it is that it is that you want to put out there like that as well, effortlessly. Because when you're in the creation process, you're in a very vulnerable space. So you want to be the most you and vulnerable and naked when you're creating, anyways. So if you could be naked to some extent and your in your personality, like that's just you, like you're just an open, naked, vulnerable person throughout your day, then when it comes to the creation process, it's going to be very easy to access that space, to be in that, because you kind of live in that space anyways. And even in, like, if you can't, like, if you're like not traditionally like a emotional person, or like an empath, or sensitive to energies, or like you might just be like a earth sign, more grounded, more down to earth, more practical. You might be more, airheaded, more into the social realms, more into your thoughts and ideas, and that's fine. So you might not be so into the water, but you could throughout your day dabble into the water more than you normally usually do, so that way when it's time for you to create, and when it's time for you to perform, and if when it's time for and when it's time for you to record, it's a lot more authentic how it comes out. It's a lot more easier, it's a lot more genuine. It's not forced, because that space is easily accessed. Like, you can sense, or you can tell when somebody is forcing it. And even if you can't tell when somebody's like trying to force emotion, even if you can't tell, you don't feel it. Like, you don't feel any emotions from it. Like, have you ever heard, like, say like you want to be like a poet, like you want to go to poetry jams, and you want to write poems, and you want to be as big as Edward Egg Poe. All right, that's his name, right? Edgar Ed Poe or something like that, whatever, that famous poet. Like, you want to be in history books because you're such a good poet. Like, um but then you go on stage and you're like forcing the emotion, because it's like however, the poetry is a very sensual thing, so like however the vibe or the emotion is, like you're trying to force it instead of just feeling it yourself. Like, even if you're doing a hell of a good job forcing it and it doesn't look forced at all, no one's going to actually feel it. Like, they're not really gonna feel you. Like, they're gonna be like, okay, yeah, all right, that was some deep shit, okay. But they're not going to be like, damn, that hit. She's and now they're like reciting back lyrics, like she said da 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 da. Like, they're literally remembering like your words, like what you said in the poem after the first listen, because that's how much it hit them. It stuck. It actually stuck. But versus like when you're like forcing it, it's not gonna stick. So you want your shit to stick, so they keep coming back because they keep thinking about your shit. Like, so they keep coming back. Next thing they know, they're a whole fan. Like, because it stuck with them. Your work stuck with them. So to get it to stick, you don't want to fake the funk, okay? So you don't want to fake the funk. So, where was I going with that? You allow yourself to be seen. You allow yourself to access that space a lot more easily. You won't have to fake the funk. If you could access that space of vulnerability, of nakedness and openness throughout your day. Normally in situations where you would avoid it, like, don't. Instead, don't avoid it. Go there, push yourself, do the thing. So once again, when it's time for you to create, it'll be a lot more easier. You'll create with a lot more ease and a lot more authenticity, and it'll be and feel a lot more real, um, for the listeners and for yourself, and for the consumers, whatever it is, because it might not be music, for the consumers and for yourself, on whatever it is. When you get to a topic that touches you, your automatic response won't be, whoa, like, let me just tiptoe around this subject so I don't get too emotional, or let me tiptoe around this subject so I don't show my true card, so I don't show myself how I really feel or how I really think when it comes to this. Like, let me just use certain language so I don't trigger myself as I talk about this, because this actually really pisses me off, but I don't want people to know that for whatever reason, right? Like, no, like, the more that you practice this, then like whenever like you're like talking in a podcast, or you're just having a regular conversation, and something comes up where like you're about to say something that like really like angers you, or really like gets you emotional, like it'll be easier for you to just get swept up under it and kind of just allow that, and just really show that person that you're speaking to, like, this is how I feel about what I'm saying right now. Like, you hear it in my tone, you hear it in my voice, you see it in my eyes, you see it in my movements, my gestures, how I'm moving, my tempo. If I slowed down the tempo, picked up the tempo, how I'm talking, like you put it on it, you picked it up, you know, and you're letting it be seen. You're exposing yourself essentially, right? So the more that you could just be that, then the more it's going to reflect in your product, in your work, and whatever it is that you're trying to put out there. So you want to be um original and unique as much as possible. So like I already said that like you could make a list of all like these quirks that you've never seen from anyone else but yourself. Um you could also practice being naked, practice being vulnerable, practice exposing yourself, and um letting like your truth shine to the forefront as well in your regular everyday interactions. Like I don't care if you're on social media and you're just replying to somebody's comment on social media, like comment like as authentically as you can. But I really think you should like do this like in real life, like not through a screen. I think like it'll be more raw, and you'll see the most growth if you do this like if you're even on the phone, talking to somebody on the phone, face to face, on camera, like in those scenarios, I feel like you'll experience the most growth, where others could witness um in real time, you know, not just through a screen, not like just by reading something on a screen, but like hearing your tone of voice in real time, you know, seeing your face and gestures in real time as you do it. I think that is what's really going to hit the spot. Um, another thing that you can do to really like let your like authenticity and uniqueness shine is by again doing the shadow work of figuring out like what is it about me that always kind of made me feel different. Like really ask yourself that, like, because we all feel special or different in to some way, shape, or form, and that's because we all don't have the same fingerprint. We all have a difference about us, a uniqueness about us that majority of people around us don't have. So whenever that part of us is being put to the forefront, or whenever a situation happens that really points at that part of ourselves, that's when we could feel the most alone. That's when we could feel the most different, because we're dealing with a part of ourselves, that the unique part of ourselves, the part of ourselves that majority of people don't have. So it's like, what is that for you? You know what I mean? And then not only like when things go wrong, like what is it about you that makes you feel like, yeah, somebody would pick me, like, because this, like, what is it about you that somebody would pick you for? And a lot of the times it's that very thing that like you hate, like, because like I said, like, you know, a lot of us deal with like, you know, just trying to like fit in and stuff, and so like we've like deemed like that part that I'm talking about of yourself as like this can't be shown out in the world, like I have to be like everybody else. And it's like, no, you gotta like unbox that, and like that's the point of the shadow work. The point of the shadow work is for you to take that box out of the closet for once and untape it and open it and see what's inside. Like that's that whole process is shadow work. Okay, see what's inside and figure out like what have I been hiding away, even from myself. Like what parts of myself have I been hiding away from people, that like I'm gonna stop being ashamed of this part of myself. I'm gonna stop denying this part of myself. I'm gonna stop rejecting this part of myself, and stop acting like that part of myself don't exist, and stop um, just only embracing these parts of myself, and like, yeah, it's still myself, but I'm not being fully myself, so I will never like really like be able to shine if I'm still hiding. You know what I mean? Parts of me are still hiding. So you gotta like shine the brightest if you want to be noticed in your field. And the more of those parts of yourself that you could expose, the brighter you're going to shine. I promise you. The brighter you're going to shine, the more you expose more and more and more of your authenticity and originality and uniqueness. So you want to take it out the box and just reveal it to the sunlight, baby. Like, dust it off, put it back on the shelf, like, for the whole world to see. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, allow yourself to be seen. Um, Discover what's unique about you, uncover it, expose it, and allow yourself to be seen. I hope this video inspired you. I hope this video gave you some good tips, some good ideas. I hope this video gets you going. And I hope that this process isn't difficult for you. I hope that it's easy and it helps you. And yeah, I don't know. I hope this video was like useful to you. Okay. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.